This is a terrible incident that happened to me after I performed a devil summoning ritual with my best friend Austin. The reason why I'm sharing this story, which has been buried in my heart for a long time, is to warn all humans that no one should ever summon the devil. Devils are 100 times more cruel, terrible, and powerful than humans. One day, 7 years ago, when Austin and I were teenagers, we discovered how to summon devils on the internet. And like fools, we actually tried it. At the time, I did not know that we were actually opening the gates of hell. It all started when Austin began to chant a spell, but after a while, he suddenly screamed and grabbed his stomach. Then I saw something bulging and moving in his stomach. Austin screamed for help, saying there was something in his stomach. The skin on his abdomen protruded as if it were about to be torn, and a monstrous voice came from inside his body.
"Hello, friends."
Then Austin started gagging, and something like a red tail came out of his mouth. I thought I was hallucinating. Austin said there was a devil in his stomach, and he asked for a knife to stab himself in the stomach. Before he could do it, his mother came into the room, having heard his scream. Somehow, Austin suddenly felt fine, and he said he couldn't feel anything in his stomach now. I explained to his mother what happened, but she didn't believe me. I went home after that and was scared all night. The next day, I got a call from Austin, and he asked me to come to his house. I went to his house, and he seemed unexpectedly fine. When I asked him what happened, he just laughed. I noticed that his tongue was split in two. Then he came closer to me. His breath was hot and smelled of sulfur, so I was startled and took a step back. He blew a stream of air at me. The air was burning hot. I moved away from it and fell back, covering my face with my hands. I saw that the clothes on my arm where his breath had touched them were burned. Smoke was coming out of his mouth as if his insides were burning. He took a deep breath like he was trying to blow again. At that moment, I knew that if his breath touched me, I would be in big trouble. So I kicked him hard in the stomach and ran away. I ran outside and called him. He answered his phone, and when I asked him, "What the hell is going on?" he answered in a monstrous voice.
"Hell is happening. What does the devil do? It destroys, hurts, and kills God's creatures."
I told him we didn't mean to do this and begged him to go back. He just laughed at me and said,
"I just got here and you're telling me to go back? I feel sad. I'm going to play with you and this guy for a very long time."
I cried and begged for forgiveness, but all I could hear was the monster's laugh coming from the phone. I was so scared that I hung up the phone. After that, I had no contact with Austin for a while. A few days passed like that. Then one night, I got a call from an unknown number, and when I answered it, it was Austin's mother. She told me, sobbing, Austin. She sounded like she was out of breath. What she said after a while was so shocking that I threw up. She said Austin was found dead in his room. However, Austin's entire body was burned, and his mouth was badly torn. She didn't know what happened. The police came and investigated, but there was no sign that anyone had broken into Austin's room. The only thing that was clear was that Austin's throat was ripped open. What was even more creepy was that there were bloodstains and a small child's footprints all the way from Austin to the window, but the police were never able to figure out whose footprints they were. I wasn't sure exactly what happened to Austin, but I knew it was the devil's doing. But I couldn't tell anyone what happened to us. From that day on, I was tormented by my grief for Austin every day, but there was actually something else that bothered me more. It was the extreme fear that the devil would come for me, too. So, every night I prayed to God to protect me. 7 years passed, and during that time, I have read and reread countless prayers. Sometimes in my dreams, Austin comes to me crying and asks me to kill the devils for him. I've thought about trying to take revenge on the devils, but I know that challenging a devil is like jumping into a volcano.
When I was 20, I made a friend while working at a supermarket.